All right. Welcome, Ferdinand. Glad to have you here.
Glad to have you as well. Thank you.
Yeah. And basically, in this quick video, I want to quickly talk about what brought us together and what we're currently building with the app and everything. And we'll also talk about business, obviously, in general, because I know you're a very business savvy person. You have different businesses in e commerce and all of that. And I think it would be great to exchange some of our views and some of the ways we think about business. And I think that will interest some of our viewers. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. So right now, maybe you can share quickly your story and like how you started in business and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. My first ever business was with Amazon FBA. I remember I was still at my mom and I had like this big box of Nintendo Switch accessories, and like my goal was to be the first one on Amazon to sell this kind of accessories. So different colors, different types, and different models you can put inside. And it was quite a big experience because like I didn't make a lot of sales on Amazon. I always put my budget on advertising and stuff, but I didn't know anything about marketing or how it works selling on Amazon. So I started this way, and I think like most of the guys you see on YouTube or even in Dubai now that started in 2017 with drop shipping and with this traditional method with AliExpress, using this shipping to your client in Europe or in the US. I think we all started this way, but I quickly wanted to escape a bit this scheme and make my own things, having my own brand, my own team, my own packaging, and really have a full control of from the supply chain to the marketing chain to everything in-house. So today that's what I'm talking about, whether with you or on different podcasts, vlogs, or even on my channel, how to set up your own team and make things by yourself without any agencies, without relying on someone, so you can grow your shop online and make sales exponentially and internationally.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. And I can recognize myself in what you said because I was doing e-commerce also a few years ago with Shopify and Oberlo. There was like an extension and AliExpress and stuff. And it's true that, I got limited very fast because the shipping was slow. Sometimes like the products arrive in some weird packaging and so
Chinese writing on it.
Chinese writing on it and stuff. So definitely way better to have your own suppliers and everything. And right now, that's not your only business. You have other ventures and all of that. Even with myself, we have a venture in common now called Meetworth, which is a networking app. So how do you manage all these things, man? Because, a lot of mentors and a lot of people online say that you shouldn't diversify yourself too much. You should only focus on one thing. One of my recent mentors as well, I had a call with him like one-on-one, and he was like, man, you should drop everything and just focus on one business. And sometimes, it's conflicting with the fact that you see also a lot of business owners like yourself who thrive in the diversity of their business and everything. So how do you manage all that? How do you, how do you balance all these businesses?
I agree with what you say, but when you check on all the most successful people in the world, they all have multiple channels of income. They never have just real estate or just e-commerce or for you, for example, just dating. Because at some point, you need to have other things in case of something happens to your main business. And many times in my career, like I had a problem maybe with my e-commerce, or my PayPal was blocked, or my Stripe account was banned. And if you rely only on one business, then how's it going after? Like, how can you even scale or have more income if all of your efforts that you centralize on one thing are blocked, done for, I don't know, a month, 2 or 3. So at some point, it can be complicated. And we, with my ex-partner at the time, we saw that at the very beginning. So we were like, okay, we have now a brand that's working. We have our ads, everything is on autopilot, and we are making sales and everything. So we were like, okay, now let's dive into some other things. So of course, I'm not diving on another topic or domain that I don't know about if I don't have something running at first and something that I master. So for example, e-commerce was one of the first things that I mastered. I think I have a pretty good level right now to talk about e-commerce. But then you have a phase where you learn about something new and you experiment, and of course you lose some cash on it. But at some point, then you start to be an expert as well, and then you can put your team on it. And this is how I manage right now to just start diversify everything. And I have the chance to work with amazing people, people that became now my friends also. We are very close with my team. I have a manager that is like basically caring about all the stuff. Like I give the task to the manager, he's giving the sub-task to every other guy, whether it's customer service, video editor, or media buyer, all the guys that are working with me. And so I know that the only person I'm talking to, or that is like taking orders, if I can say, is the manager. And then all the other people he's managing it. So I don't have all the stress of like looking at the people, what they're doing, if they're doing it correctly, or maybe they did a mistake on the customer service. I don't check on that. I just focused on the task management, what needs to be done, and then scale the business.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's hard to reach a stage like you did, reach a certain level where you have like multiple business working together if you don't have a great team. And I think that's your main advantage. You have a great team and you're great at managing lots of people.
Absolutely. I always remember one guy that I had in consulting that told me, yeah, hire fast, fire faster. And that's a saying that now I apply every time, because it's so damn easy to just post an ad online and saying, okay, we need customer service. You will have 10, 20, 30 people applying in the same day, telling, I'm the best, I can do this, I have 10 years of experience. But you don't really know their true value until you test them and you see if they're loyal to you, if they do actually a good job. And how many times I had like employees just running the timer, but they were doing something else, or they were doing it badly. If they did a mistake, they did the mistake again 2 days after. So it's a lot of process that you have to do beforehand. And once you have at the end 3 or 2 guys that maybe will do the job, then you can really select these and have only high quality members in your staff.
But I do think also before diversifying, and I don't know what you think of that, but before diversifying, at least mastering one thing to a high level before switching to something else. Because yeah, it's true that, you know, most billionaires and super successful people now have multiple businesses, but usually when you study their history, they started with one
thing,
and they've put all their focus in one thing for 10 years and then, or 5 years or whatever, and then once that thing is successful, then they start, you know, getting into other markets. So
yeah, that's it.
So that's kind of the trap also, because a lot of entrepreneurs want to be like an Elon Musk or a guy who has like 5 different things from the get-go without having something that works initially at first. You know, they try to build like start 3 new businesses at once.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of starting with one, getting some success, at least making, I don't know, 6 figures, 7 figures, and then diversifying with others. So
yeah, I understand totally your point. And that thing we started to see with Iman Gachi, which was talking about like SMMA. So everybody try to create your agency, try to be an expert at something, but so many people, they fail at something. For example, we talked about e-commerce. They made maybe barely 5 orders a day, and they were claiming to be some kind of guru that can help you scale to 10K, 50 orders per day, whatsoever. So right now we see a lot of online coaches, so to say, that are pretending to master a field, but in fact have just failed at something and now think that they can sell courses, ebooks, or whatsoever, but they're not an expert. So this is why right now I'm always kind of struggling finding out if it's a coach, a mentor, if he actually knows something. And most people don't really see the difference between a coach and a mentor. And that's why also, even for you, I would think you can be more a mentor than a dating coach, because you apply to your students the same techniques that you use in your daily life, while a coach is saying, okay, this is your situation, this is what I can recommend. It's like a soccer or football coach, okay? Most of the times it's some fat guy that is on the side of the line and that can say, okay, run faster, but himself couldn't even do it. While a mentor has done it, has the experience, and still does it in his daily life. So this is why right now I like to draw a line between coach and mentor.
Or a coach could be someone who has done it years ago, but who doesn't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the football coaches, usually that's a
they're
previous
retired
player.
and after they can still do it. But when I'm talking about more the amateurs one, amateur coaches, you see them on the side. And I played also soccer like for 5-6 years, and always there was some fat dude on the side that couldn't even run 50 meters, or like at some point was injured and couldn't do anything anymore in his career. So it's always funny that they are saying, okay, you have to run faster, but they can't show the example.
And so, what's the role of fitness and stuff in your life? Because I mean, you're big on fitness. I mean, I see you at the gym every day, and I mean, it plays a large role in your life. You've been also a fitness coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But to talk about like what it plays in my personal life, I would say that fitness is the way where I put all the negativity inside. I know that when I take these weights or when I do cardio, then I have to give all this negative energy, all this angriness and things that bother me. I put in here. What I know that some people put them maybe in their relationships or their friendship, and you're just ruining everything. While if you put it in something that will make you better, for example, fitness, well, you need strength. Then, of course, if you can use this bad energy to push harder, then just do it, And after the 2 hours, it just feels amazing. And this is why I like to go to the gym almost every single day, because some days I either have my schedule or I need some rest. But yeah, I try to be there every single day. And one of my first businesses was also as a personal trainer, and I still have my brand now, Body Evolution. And we had supplements, we have our online app, and it's just working great. I wouldn't say I'm lucky to have it because of passion, because for me, passion and work are two different things. You don't have to put them together. If it's possible, then yes. But yeah, this is how fitness plays a role in my life. But I would say that for you as well, like I see you most of the time hustling at the gym. And how did you come with that? Or do you have any physical goal behind?
Yeah, I think fitness is super important. It's one of those habits that I think will make or break you. And we have a lot of friends in common who
We do, yeah.
they prioritize, money over their health in some way. Like they stopped going to the gym for months on end,
Yeah,
and instead
smoking,
they're smoking, whatever.
drinking.
And I think it's sad. I think money isn't everything. And I mean, yeah, maybe you're gonna save 2 hours a day of working on your business and stuff. But in the long run, I think business is more of a marathon. And if you can sustain those good habits, etc., you're gonna have an edge. Plus, I mean, you think a lot more clearly when you go to the gym and then you're back into business. And it's just one of those habits that I think every successful guy should engage in.
It helps in so many angles, but money always come back at some point. Like I've been broke more than one time in my life, and I know that money will always come back in a bank account. But time, health, that's hard. And even if I talk about my personal life, I had like 5 days ago, my aunt died from a cancer.
Really?
She was like 50 something, so pretty
God
young
bless
for her
her.
age.
I mean, may she rest in peace.
Yeah, thank you. But when I see that, it just makes me realize even more, damn, we don't have time and our health is so damn important. Like even myself, when I'm being catch at eating some shit or not paying attention to my sleep or my recovery, I say, okay, maybe one time it's okay. But when you realize that it happens 2, 3, 4 times a week, then you know there is something wrong going on your schedule and that you have to take care about it. Like you're 25, if I'm not mistaken, 26?
26.
Yeah, I'm 20, 2 years older, 28. Like we're still young, but it's now that we are caring about our body, caring about our habits. And you know that I'm someone that really likes discipline and really having my habits, but I know that you too. And I will be really curious to know, like, what are your top 3 or top 5 habits that you could even recommend to someone?
That's a great question, yeah. But what's funny about us too is we have very different rhythms.
We do.
You're
A night owl.
I'm a night owl. You're more of a morning guy.
True.
It's a lifestyle too, because in my lifestyle, I'm a DJ. I date a lot of women. I go out a lot. I run boot camps almost every 2 months with clients where we stay up till 5 and like go out and stuff. So I'm in this part of my life where my habits are more geared towards my lifestyle too, but it's okay. I mean, as long as you're productive as soon as you wake up, I think you could do great. But it's true that I see a decline in productivity after midnight. After midnight, you get a bit tired, etc. and stuff. So I think if you can wake up in the morning, usually that's better. But then also, even if you sleep at night and you work at night, as long as you do the right actions as soon as you wake up and you're productive during the day and you manage your day properly, you can still be a very successful business owner, even if you wake up at noon or whatever, as long as you have everything planned out and you work
Yeah, it's
well.
true that on social media now you see always the same thing. Wake up at 4 in the morning, take a cold shower, work out for 2 hours. It's always the same advice that we can have. But like you, some people are simply not adapted for this kind of routine, or maybe they have a late job and they only finish at 8, 9 p.m. And it's only at that time between 9 and 12 that they start to do something for it, their own business. And if they're productive, I would say just go for it. But it's just that some people need this special kick in their ass. Wake up in the morning. Maybe it works for me at least. Like I know that in the morning I'm way more productive than in the evening. Like after 6, 7 p.m., don't ask me to do anything. Like it's my own time, personal time, and that's it. But if it works for you and you feel, then just go for it.
Yeah, and I mean, you asked me the question like, what are my
What the
top
habits, yeah.
What are the top 3 habits? I would say number 1 for sure, fitness. I mean, fitness, going out, going to the gym at least like 3-4 times a week, minimum 3-4 times a week, ideally more. Then I think one of the best habits, and I know a lot of people say, you know, you don't need to read books, etc. But reading books is incredible, actually. I mean, I've learned so much from books. It makes you more articulate. It gives you so much ideas. You learn from people that have spent years, decades figuring stuff out, and you can just, you know, just plug their knowledge into your brain for less than $20, you know, and it's incredible that nowadays people spend more time watching YouTube videos than actually reading books from people who have literally condensed everything in a book.
They don't have the attention anymore. Like today we have this slide always up and up and up, and our attention frame is maybe 5 or 10 seconds. We're like a goldfish. If we don't have something catchy after 5 seconds, we're just gonna slide. Right now, if you give to someone, okay, watch this 1 hour video, they will be like after 5 minutes, okay, nothing happens. Okay, it's maybe interesting, but I'm gonna maybe do some game, watch some other thing, and they don't have time for this anymore. But we truly have a lost generation. But I think reading books can, in some points, get away from this ADHD that we can see on social media and this horrible fact that you have to always consistently search for dopamine. So, guys, if you can, watch long form
stuff.
Content. Don't focus only on short forms at like 5-10 seconds that are always resetting your dopamine, and you will see it will just improve everything in your life. Like it's so damn important.
Yeah, and the third habit I would say, like for success, is just like consistently reminding yourself of your goals and what you want to achieve. Because I've had a lot of times, and I know that sounds cheesy, like you've heard this a lot of times, but you know, I've invested in tons of mentors that have told me to create a vision board for my life, and you know, who do I want to become. Who do I want to be in 10 years, stuff like that. Create kind of a history for my life, like almost like a future Wikipedia page of like how Limo Islari will be in like 20 years, 30 years.
Or even text to reads every single morning.
Stuff like that. And I did that before, but I wasn't really looking at it every day. I would do it once, and then for months I wouldn't do it. But nowadays I'm starting to catch the importance of watching it consistently, because if you do it every single day in the morning, it really primes you to look for opportunities, and subconsciously you start behaving a different way than if you didn't. Because it reminds you, it's like, you know, there's a famous movie called 50 First Dates. And this is a movie where basically a woman wakes up every day and she forgets that
she doesn't have a memory anymore.
Yeah, she forgets that she's married. She forgets that she has a boyfriend or whatever. And every day her husband or boyfriend has to remind her that, oh, look, we shared all of this. We had all of this. This is us, right? And it's kind of the same thing with your vision, where if you don't look at it at least every week or a couple times a day, you start drifting and you forget about it. And by getting reminded of it every day, it's like, oh, like this is who the fuck I am. This is who I am. This is my vision. This is what I need to do, right?
What I want to be.
And otherwise you forget and you drift and you go into other things and you don't focus on what's most important. So I think, you know, being constantly dialed in when it comes to your vision, your goals, going to the gym consistently, reading books, etc. All these things, a combination of all of that is going to keep you dialed in, keep you on track, and it is going to give you an unfair advantage over 99% of business people and guys in general.
Yeah, the vision is so important, and many people say, okay, I want to earn money, I want to have a shaped body, but why? Like, what's the purpose behind? Okay, you want to have money, what are you going to do with it? Most people, you're going to give them 1 million. They don't even know what to do with that. They don't even know how to enjoy themselves or how much fun you can have with 1 million. They're like, okay, I have this. Now that I wanted money, I have it. Okay, what you going to do? And this is the thing that you really be precise, not only materialistic things. Like what do you want to give to others, to your parents? Like, do you want to retire them? Where? What kind of house will they have? All these specific things that you want to achieve, write them down or visualize them, maybe with pictures or with videos that you have. I know you have it on your wallpaper on your phone.
You
And
too.
that's
You had
really
it.
I had not anymore because
Yeah.
I achieved some and just need to redo it.
Yeah.
But like this, I know what I want and I know exactly how I'll reach there. It's just like a step-by-step thing. But most people are just like, okay, I want to reach something, but they don't know why or how. They just have, okay, I want this body. How are you going to do it? What's your program? How many times are you training per week? What are your daily calories? If we take the fitness example, they don't even know. They're like, okay, I need a shaped body. Okay, I will go to the gym. That's it. They don't have like a real purpose or a how to do it. And they don't even search for it. For them, it's enough. Or opening an e-commerce store, oh, I'm just gonna be a bit on Shopify like a geek, like a nerd, and search into the parameters and launch 2 ads. That's not a program that you do. That's not a path that you can follow. You don't have precise steps. If you do have a precise plan on I need to do this and that at this time of the day, then you will reach it, and then you can unlock this vision that you had about what you want to be.
Yeah, you need to break your goals into like practical steps. And one thing you touched on is having a strong why. And I'm big on that too, because I have a lot of clients, especially in the dating niche, that have a very shallow why. Like I call them like basically you have two types of motivation. You have like the lower self motivation and the higher self motivation. That's what I tell my clients. A lower self motivation is a motivation driven by ego and external stimuli, like, oh, I just want to make my ex jealous,
Yeah.
or oh, I just want my friends to see that I'm just getting laid or whatever. That's external. It's an external motivation, and that why is a bit shallow, and it won't really get you the discipline to follow through for months or years. It's just like very shallow. However, if you have a higher self motivation, that's a motivation that's more intrinsic instead of extrinsic, and is rooted in less ego, but more like value in the long term. For example, I want to improve my dating life so that one day I can become a great father. I can attract the partner of my dreams, have an amazing family and kids and stuff like that. That's better than, oh, I just want to get laid and impress my friends or get revenge over my ex or whatever. So having a strong why is super important. And there's a great quote by, I think it was Freud or Nietzsche. He who has a strong why can bear almost any how. And when you have a strong why, the how and the what becomes so much easier because you have a strong reason why you want to do it. So you take those necessary actions more easily,
That's
right?
true.
So that's yeah.